And we're live.
Yes,
Welcome,
we are.
everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today we have a special guest with us, Mr. Knockmeezy. As you know, he has been on the channel before. And today we have a very interesting topic that we are going to discuss. One being business opportunities and the other being actual opportunities that some diasporans on the continent have already started themselves into, and whether those are good or not. So now, before we get started, please introduce yourself to our guests, and then we'll jump right into it.
All right. So my name is Knockmeezy. I've been on the channel once, but I do have my own channel. I speak about everything from Black empowerment, the relationship between continental Africans and Black Americans, and also the rest of the diaspora, and just from kickboxing to everything. So I have like a kind of mystery mix of stuff that I speak about, but most of it is centered around our people.
Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. So let's jump right into it. When you were in Ghana, your time being there, I'm sure that as a business person or having business ideas in your head that you saw a lot of opportunities. Can you talk about what some of those opportunities are and how you think they can be best served by Blacks in the diaspora?
Well, it would have to be served by the government of Ghana first. One of the biggest opportunities that I saw was an opportunity to upgrade or retrofit their infrastructure. And what I'm speaking about specifically are the sewer systems. When I looked at it, I'm like, oh, wow, there can be money made here in terms of waste management, right? Mm-hmm. But if the government doesn't put in place garbage pickups, underground sewage and things of that nature, you'd almost be like putting, sweeping stuff under the rug. You understand? So I think the government has to really decide which way they're going to go, especially in Accra, in terms of the infrastructure. But if they do that, then there's opportunities. But if at this point, it would just be like a temporary fix. But there's a lot of opportunities over there. But I got to put it back on the government, man.
Well, when you talk about waste management, there's already outsourcing there in Ghana with waste management companies that do partner. Like in some communities, you have trash pickup, and the people that reside in those communities, they pay a small fee monthly, and the companies come around and pick those up. I'm not sure if you are aware of that.
Well, I've seen piles of trash all over the place. I've seen waste. I've seen rivers of plastic and things of that nature. Especially, I didn't go there during the rainy season, but in the rainy season, that tends to happen. It's a huge problem. Correct. So I think it needs to be broadened if that is already in effect, or it needs to be reworked. Because what I saw, it was just like I wouldn't want to live like that.
Well, in terms of what you're speaking about, you're talking about recycling capabilities. Now, I know some people myself personally that are actually working that particular arm, but not in Accra. They're trying to get something started in Takoradi with that. Okay. Basically starting from the ground up with recycling. And you know how we actually did it in the States was you had small processing plants. And you had people who would go throughout their city on their own. They collect it, and then they would sell it to those small processors. They may charge them by pound there, since they're on the metric system. It may be by kg, or whatever those fees, right? And then they would actually, process the weight or what they garnered that way. So I know personally of some gentlemen who are actually working this angle myself.
Well, that's good.
There's also a lady, I can't think of her name, eludes me right now, but she's in the north, and she takes plastics and makes them into hats. She makes them into hats. I cannot think of her name. She is an indigenous Ghanaian, not on the internet, things like that. But I've seen people that had posted some of her creations as well. I'm not saying that there's not a larger need there, because infrastructure, of course, that is important. But just in terms of business opportunities that people could garner immediately to actually help with those particular, let's say, waste management, because waste management is very broad, as you know. It's very, very broad. So just in what you saw, and you saying that you saw piles of things sitting there, you never saw at one time trucks or even people coming by to remove some of the waste at all?
Well, I'll tell you, there's a company called Zoom Lion that handles that,
Yes.
right? But are you familiar with Zoom Lion?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's there, but it just needs to be expanded. I think it probably needs to be more supported by the government, because there's certain neighborhoods that are underserved. You know,
Gotcha.
if you ever been in the area of Bukom Boxing Stadium, like behind it, it's literally just wastewater, and it's just a putrid smell. And if you live there the whole time, it'll become normal to you. So me coming from somewhere else, I see it like, whoa, that can be cleaned up. Because if not, what can tend to happen is that can seep into your drink water, that can seep into your it can just pollute your soil, and then you'll have other sort of ailments that